The world is terrible and full of pain. So let's talk about how all of Topp Klass seems to think that Atom is going to leave Top Dog for a group that's only supposed to last a year? Now, if you're not Topp Klass, you don't exactly know what I'm talking about. So let me give you a head start. At the beginning of the month, this happened. I was doing some very serious work on the computer when suddenly... Good thing I looked up that article on breathing. Time to check Tumblr. And Topp Klass was panicking. Everywhere I looked on my blog, on searches for Atom, everyone was talking about Atom possibly leaving the group, joining a show called Produce 101 Season 2, and amidst all this panic, I had the sense of mind to ask the important questions. What is Produce 101? I'm sure that these 2 articles that people keep posting will tell me everything I need to know. But of course, neither article was really that helpful. Both said Atom was definitely leaving the group, but only temporarily, but it might be Atom, but it might not be. Also, Top Dog was definitely staying together. Again, I remembered to ask the important questions. Where did this second laptop come from? Considering this a frustrating lack of information, I did some research on my own. Well, I mean, Atom would look good in a pink skirt. Let's think about that for a second, shall we? No, I do not have time to Photoshop Atom into a pink skirt. Yet. Now, my initial reaction to all of this was fairly underwhelming. And that's mostly because I had no idea what Produce 101 is. And from what I gleaned, from what things I looked up, Produce 101 takes 101 contestants and then narrows them down to 11 with the intention of making a temporary K-pop group. This group lasts for about a year, and then they return to their initial companies. And supposedly so do the other 101 not 101 contestants, otherwise that would be 112 contestants. But the remaining 11 and all the other contestants that didn't make it go back to their company at the end. So, after learning that, kind of the initial hype and tears that Topp Klass had over this whole situation just seemed like a little too much. However, most of them were probably in a place where I was, where they hadn't seen the first season and didn't know what happened. However, if you've been Topp Klass, even as short as Chonin Miguk Soram's K-pop idols pronounce Western names video, then you've seen at least one member go. And if you've been around long enough, you've seen 4 members go. That's a lot of loss to have to deal with, so the panic suddenly makes sense. Honestly, if we were losing Atom, for sure, I'd be pretty upset about that, but I'd be ready to support the kid outside of Top Dog, because, I mean, what else are you gonna do? Cry about it? However, the way it seems, it doesn't look like we're gonna be losing Atom, and I think that this is a consistent problem that Hannes and Topp Klass are having. I feel like Hannes just seems to believe that we should let things be as they are, and I'm kind of okay with that. I would like more clear communication. But most people are not like that. They would like official statements on these things. They want to know before the initial panic that things are going to be okay. That being said, Atom, or, I'm going to butcher his actual name, so I feel like I should just keep saying Atom. Hope that bothers no one. So, after it wound up being confirmed, my reaction was still pretty underwhelming. I was just, happy to see the members doing something, 'cause it's temporary. I knew enough not to panic, so it just didn't affect me that much. I waited and I watched for him to show up on screen, and every time somebody showed up with a close-up that wasn't Atom, I was just like, screw you, get out of the way. I know that you're supposed to kind of look for and, analyze each of the contestants and see which one you wind up adoring more, but I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be watching Produce 101 if it wasn't for Sang-kyun. And the last part I want to go over with you is what my hopes are for Atom. Honestly, I would love to see him make it into the last 11 contestants. A lot of rumors going around are saying that this is just to kind of put Top Dog on the map, to make Atom seen enough that he brings fans over to Top Dog. And that sounds great. However, I kind of hope that the intention is for him to make it to the end. I'd love to see what he does in a different group. I assume that's the plan. I don't really care either way, because either way, I'll be rooting for him. So, kick ass, Sang-kyun. Kick it hard.